Hi, I am Amit. I am CTO at Flam. I started this company with my friends from college. So we are building a mixed reality stack for enterprises. Like our tech allows enterprises to create and publish content which is beyond videos. It is more interactive and engaging content. So it has found a good PMF in advertising space. So a lot of brands use Flam to power their ads, which are like traditional ads, like newspaper ads or out of home ads, and also digital ads on Instagram and like everywhere they can. So it's something which can boost your current marketing stack and give you access to mixed reality, which can engage your users very effectively.
Amit, welcome to the Founder Thesis podcast. You are the co-founder and CTO of Flam, which is a mixed reality business. You've had an interesting journey of finding product market fit. Let's start with that. What was the origin story of Flam? What did you start with? What was version one? Take me through that journey a little bit.
Okay. Um, so yeah, we started this company with a vision to bring mixed reality to the users. Okay. So obviously the first version we are like right out of the college, very excited to build something.
First, why don't we define what is mixed reality?
Okay. So mixed reality is something which is one level beyond videos, you can assume. So essentially it's content which is playing in your physical space. So when you are watching videos, you are basically into digital space. It has no like interaction or interfacing with your physical medium. But in mixed reality, uh, first thing is that you have to use your camera interface, because camera is the uh, like your device's way to see the world, right? So it plays on camera, and then you place content in your real world. So it is basically a coalescence between the real environment and digital environment.
I think
So
the simplest way to describe this is like a filter on Instagram. Like you have those filters which put
uh,
sunglasses on your face.
yes, yes. So that
So
is one of
that is
the
mixed reality.
uh, basic use cases.
Yeah.
So, and another thing about mixed reality is that it's 3D in nature. So whatever content you consume on your devices, it's two dimensional because it's just a screen. But the moment you open camera interface, it becomes 3D. So every content can be three dimensional, like you see real world around you, which is 3D. The content that you see in digital space can also be 3D with mixed reality interface, right? And also it is interactive, so it interacts with the user, it interacts with the surroundings as well. So that's the thing about it. So it is much more engaging than any other form of content.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So like the Apple Vision Pro is a like the most expensive mixed reality hardware around, and then you have
Yes.
the Ray-Ban glasses from Meta slash
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes. Yes.
So how they would interact is like Apple Vision Pro will actually put a window in your room. Like
Yes.
you're within your room, you can have windows or objects which are digital, but you are seeing them inside your room that is in front of you. uh,
Yes.
or like avatar, like you are speaking to somebody and that person is actually an avatar, not a real person, but it feels like they are standing in front of you as you are speaking to them. So things,
Yes.
so these are like mixed reality, mass market mixed reality use cases.
Yes. So they are not yet mass market, but yeah,
Yeah, true,
they
true,
are
true. Not
also
yet mass
doing
market.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I think that Vision Pro is $3,000 or something like that. It's yeah.
Yes, and
Uh,
also it's like if you see the tech behind it, it's
hmm.
more focused for virtual reality, like VR. So the use cases of it being in your physical environment are less prominent on those devices. So when you wear those like even like Meta Quest or Vision Pro, you are actually cut off from the world. So you are entering into a new world. So obviously it has cameras and it can take you into mixed reality, which is like interacting with your physical environment around you. But the devices are not meant for that use case per se. The Ray-Ban glasses, they are the ones which are meant for that, where everything is happening in your physical world, and you can see the digital objects interacting with the physical environment.
you and your co-founder wanted to build mixed reality. Why is that? um, a lot of people are excited by VR, virtual reality, because there are so many use cases, gaming,
Yeah.
whatever, like education and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. And of course there is so much of science fiction content that you see around being in VR worlds, etc. Why would a bunch of 20-year-olds or something like that, I guess you must have been, get interested into mixed reality, which is not something that people dream about at that age?
Yeah. So, mixed reality is not something which we wanted to build. We just landed into mixed reality. So,
Okay.
we wanted to build more engaging and interactive content. So,
Hmm.
the idea is like content on internet has evolved since like past 2 decades. So, first when internet came about, it was all text content, like text chats, everything. Websites were static. Everything was around text. Then we transitioned into images, so internet became image heavy. You had like apps like Facebook, Instagram, they took over, and the content was all images. Then it was all videos with TikTok, Reels, and all coming up. So obviously it has to evolve into something better. So we thought like interactive content is the way forward. Now, if it has to be interactive, then you have like you can build it in virtual reality, which is like games and all that you mentioned, which are VR focused, but they don't appeal to, let's say, all segments of users. Like gaming is limited to a few people who are like very passionate about gaming, and it's like a cult kind of product if you build games. But if you build something which is content heavy, and if you can build interactive content, so then it can have a mass appeal like Instagram or TikTok. So that was the vision, to build something which everyone like you and me can consume and create content on, right? And then the most effective way to do it came out to be mixed reality, which is like interactive camera, because people are used to using camera as a content creation device, like you shoot videos and photos, but you don't use it as a consumption device. So that's a bit of a habit change, but it gives you access to a lot more engaging content.
What was the original thesis, that you wanted to create something for creators to use to create content, or you wanted to what did you want to do, like what did you want to build? And you've raised the seed round on that thesis, so you must
So
have pitched.
basically, building more interactive content. So, like you watch videos, you can watch content in your 3D space around you, which is interactive in nature, right? So that's the whole thesis. Now it requires creation side as well, right? So someone has to create that content. So first of all, someone has to create a platform where consumption of this content is very lucid. Like you can scroll videos all day. So you have to build an interface which is very lucid for the users to use. Then someone has to publish content on that interface. And then someone has to create that content. So it all goes hand in hand. But like the end goal is to make the consumers use the interface and like watch 3D content instead of the videos that they are used to watch.
So
So
you raised the seed fund in 2021. Tell me about that. Like, what was your pitch at that time? Did you have a demo product to show? What was your story that you wanted to build? Tell me about that.
we are building focusing on mixed reality interactive content, and we want to build the next consumer app for that. Like we saw how Instagram took off for images, how TikTok took off for videos. So we wanted to build something like that in mixed reality, where consumers can, billions of consumers are consuming mixed reality content, right? So that was the entire ecosystem that we wanted to build. We wanted to build in consumer space. So that was like something which was exciting for the investors. So at that time, Snapchat was, I think, the only app which had some mixed reality components to it. So and also like Snapchat was not as big as Facebook at that point of time. It still not is. So we were trying to build, and also it was like that was an app which we took for a reference of what mixed reality was back then in 2021. So it had just face filters, nothing else, right? So mixed reality can be much more than that. Uh, Not just using your front camera, but also using your back camera to interact with your surroundings, right? So there were a few apps like Pokemon Go, which had those components, but they were not into content creation, right? Content creation and content consumption. So there we saw that white space that we can build something here, and that was our initial pitch to the investors. Like that's the ecosystem that we want to build.
You had a working prototype to show them?
Yes, we already had a consumer app. Uh, so we had like uh, a system to build your avatars, to build something with motion capture, our own motion capture technology. So all those things we had in place. That was like the initial build that we had. So yeah, so when we went out for raising, we already had an app. We had a user base which was sticky, and that was the whole thesis to double down on this.
So, how, like, people could, using the app, create 3D content which
Uh,
others could
yes, so
consume?
there were multiple use cases to this.
Hmm.
So first thing was that if you had your photos, which were like printed photos, you can add like interactive content on those photos. Like most easy and simple one is video. So you can have photos. You can scan the photos with our camera app, and the photos can be moving objects and interactive objects, right? So that was a very simple use case. So we built a consumer app to support that. Then we had avatar system where you can create your own avatar and use any video from online sources to do motion capture and animate that avatar. So you can basically create your own content in your 3D space using avatars, like avatars and all digital objects. So that was another use case. So we kept on building use cases like this for consumers to experience mixed reality, which was not just face filters or something, but which you can actually use in your environment. So like those products already had some traction in the market. So that's when we raised some money to double down on those use cases.
And this was pre generative AI videos.
Generative AI, yeah, yeah. So like generative AI, like the first use case that we saw was ChatGPT. So
Hmm,
that came about in 22, like I guess
hmm,
22, early
hmm,
22.
hmm.
And after that, like generative AI took off. So this was all before that, like 2021.
It sounds like it must have been primitive, because without generative AI, if you want to have someone scan a picture and then make that picture into a video, I mean,
Mhm.
today generative AI does such an excellent job of it that
Yes.
you cannot believe it was not originally a video. But
Yes.
at that time, I'm not sure how good it would have been for someone to scan a picture and see
Yeah,
that as a
so it
video.
was not focused on AI. It was focused on delivering immersive experience to the user. So the
Hmm,
videos need not be uh, created by AI. The
hmm,
videos you can upload, like create the
hmm.
videos of those moments. So it was a very like personalized product. So let's say you have some videos which you have shot on your vacation or on your birthdays. So you can preserve those memories and you can use mixed reality to experience that again, right? So that
Okay.
right. So
Hmm,
it was around that. So AI didn't play a big role at that point. Like generative AI, obviously we
hmm,
had a lot of AI in our stack for image tracking and everything, which still is the
hmm,
case.
hmm,
But yeah,
hmm. When did you realize कि ये ऐप नहीं चलने वाली? That you
uh,
need to pivot.
yeah, yeah. So more than the app nahi chalne wale, it was the ecosystem. Like in 2021, it was very good environment for getting funded. But then things changed in 22, 23, and we had a slump. So consumer apps, if you want to build, you need a very different kind of mindset to build them, to scale them, right? So you can't talk about generating revenue until you have X million users or
Yeah.
stick-ins, or the metrics are very different, right? So it was not very conducive for us to build it, and especially something which was not a very established use case. So let's say if you are building an app in videos, you could have scaled it, raised funding, because everyone knows how videos work. So it was
Hmm.
not something which was what you can say, uh, new kind of ecosystem, or something which didn't exist
It was
before.
a riskier bet for a VC to take.
Yes, yes.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
So yeah, so it was like creating a new market. So that is
hmm,
always a hard problem. So
hmm.
without having a good like cash flow or backing, you can't really do that, like building an ecosystem. So that's when we realized that we need to pivot this into a business facing entity, and like build the ecosystem first. So consumers will follow, but you have to build an ecosystem first. And like consumer is not the best place to do that. Probably empowering businesses to drive value from this platform is something which we can explore. So that's when we started exploring the current version of the app, that is.
And like, how much runway did you have when you figured out that you're not going to be able to raise more money and you need to find paying customers soon?
About 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you were fairly prudent. Like a lot of founders have the curse of being very optimistic. That
Mhm.
that excessive optimism that I will manage to raise the next round. Okay, that's pretty good.
Mm.
So then, when you decided, okay, you need paying customers, what was your pitch to businesses?
Okay. So first thing that was different was when it's a consumer play, we had app on Play Store, App Store. So consumers were downloading the app and creating the content. But when you are pitching to businesses for an advertising use case in mixed reality, you can't expect them to build this when there is an app download required. So
Hmm.
users are not going to download app for watching mixed reality content, which is essentially an ad, right?
Hmm.
So they will use it for their own use case. If they want to like watch their own personalized content,
Hmm.
then that makes sense.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So that was again, uh, that was the white space in advertising part. So mixed reality and advertising didn't pick up because it had a lot of friction, right? So the first thing that we realized is that we have to solve that friction. Otherwise, this is not going to pick up. So the only other way before Flam was to have a web interface, which is like mixed reality opening in browser, browsers opening your camera, and there like you build image tracking or ground tracking, air tracking, everything on browser, and then render content on that, right? So that was also not a very good interface, primarily because of limitations on browsers. So you don't get enough resources on your phone browsers to have all these computationally heavy tasks running for you, right? So that's when we realized that we have to build something from scratch, and build an interface which is like not a browser, not an app. So fortunately, like Google and Apple ecosystems, they supported us with this use case. So we were able to build appless ecosystem, which is basically one-click installation of our MR bundle onto the user's phone. So what changed was that when you want to interact with mixed reality content, you don't need an explicit app download. You can just scan a QR code or click on a Flam link, and the bundle gets installed, and the camera opens up directly in one click. So that was something which changed the game completely.
So you are saying that it is neither an app nor on the browser. Can you tell me, yeah, like when I scan a QR code on a newspaper ad, what happens? How does it work?
Okay. So when you scan any QR code, so basically it installs Flam's mixed reality bundle onto your phone seamlessly. So it doesn't require you to go to Play Store to install anything. All this process happens very seamlessly, and it opens the Flam camera so that you can start watching content on the camera interface. So going from like scanning a QR or clicking a link to Flam's interface is just one click for the user. So it simplifies a lot of things. It like removes friction from the system, and since this bundle is running natively on your phone without a browser, we have access to a lot more resources than the browsers can. So the experience is very smooth. You can render very high quality content and have a very good FPS. So the content is very engaging in that way. So it essentially solves the problem which browsers or app have. Like app, if you see, the performance is very good, but accessibility is very low. Versus browsers where accessibility is high, but the performance is very low. So we get the best of both the worlds by using this interface.
Uh, you said FPS, which is normally used for video, but from what
Mhm.
I understand, there is some, let's say, a phone. So that phone will be in 3D, and you can probably move your camera to see the sides of the phone, etc.
Mhm.
Where is the FPS coming in over here?
So it also affects your camera speed, right? So frames,
Okay.
whatever your camera is seeing, if that
Hmm.
is rendered at lower FPS, you can see jitters in the camera. So you can
Hmm.
experience that in some phones, like low end phones. If you have too many apps running in the background, you'll see camera jittering, right? So that's where FPS comes into play. So if you have
Okay.
like good hardware acceleration, access to all resources on the phone, you can basically work around with that. So it's not.
In a way, the Flam camera is a like a real time live stream almost. Like
Yes.
it's
So it's streaming
capturing
content
some.
from your physical environment
Huh.
and playing content which is interpolating with that environment. Right.
Right, right, right. Okay. Okay, okay, interesting. And when I scan a QR code, I can point my phone anywhere else in the room, or I point it on that newspaper ad which I
Uh,
see.
so it depends on the kind of experience that we have built, like the
Hmm.
brand has built. So if it requires you to keep scanning the like newspaper, then it's a different kind of experience, which is like we call it image tracking experience. So you're tracking the image continuously, and that is your anchor point. So all the experiences around that image. But if you want it to be free flowing in your room or in your like pinned to a wall or air, you can build all those things as well. So the point is like it is anchored to some anchor point which can be in your room or on the image, and then there is content which is playing, which is 3D in nature. So those are the two components which the brands play around and build experiences.
Give me examples of both, like where it is
Okay.
anchored to the newspaper ad versus where I can point it to.
Okay. So let's say if it's contextual to the image. So let's say if
Give me
uh,
like real examples, things
okay.
that you have
So
actually done.
okay. So let's say we had done one experience for Dabur, which was with real juice. Okay. So there, whatever the creative was, the experience was that the creative opens up like a box, and real juice comes out of it. Right. So the image was a box image, and you could see that the box is opening up. Right. So that requires you to have box in your camera frame to start with. Right. So it
Hmm.
is more engaging that way. Right. So there you need image as an anchor, and the experience
Hmm.
starts playing from that image itself, right?
Hmm.
Versus we had one experience where like ICICI Bank was using Flam to communicate with their users about their mutual fund scheme, right? So there the users were clicking on the link from like messages that they received on WhatsApp, and they anchored the experience in their room. So it was about the fund manager talking to them about the scheme that they were launching, right? So the fund, like you see on TV, the
Hmm.
anchors are presenting something and they have the graphics around them. You could see that exactly in your room. That like the presenter was standing in front of you and you had graphics around it. So they were telling you about the scheme. You could interact with those graphics and learn more about the things. So it really depends on what suits your needs and where you want to play. And the basic components being that it's interactive and 3D in nature, those hold true for all kind of equipments.
Very interesting. So you could, for example, have like a KBC experience with the A, B,
Yes.
C, D
Yes.
choices, and then
So
Amitabh
yes.
Bachchan sitting.
Yes.
So Amitabh
We,
Bachchan is actually sitting in your room in
yeah.
front of you, and those
And
choices are
asking
there.
questions, and you have the options on the screen. So all those kind of experiences can be built. So it
Mm.
again, whatever creativity you can use, you can have those things. Right.
Okay, very interesting. So, is this a gimmick or a business? Like, what's your moat over here? I mean, it sounds. I mean, I'm not sure what is the long-term sustainable moat here. Sounds like it would be easy for other people to also replicate. You might have, yeah.
Got it. Uh, yeah, so that's a very valid question. Like everyone thinks that that's the case. So again, like mixed reality as an ecosystem existed 10 years before Flam as well, right? But what Flam has built is something very unique in a few ways, which has solved the problem for advertising industry. So first thing is like as I told you, it's no web, no app, one click interface. So that's a very big moat. Until you have an interface like this, you can't really be appealing to the advertisers, right? But behind the scenes, apart from this interface, there are a lot more things to Flam than it looks on the face. So one is that like mixed reality as an interface, it's accessible only on 60% devices in India on Android. So Android is a big market in India. So you can't be like available on 60% devices and expect the advertisers to publish ads only, right? So that's one place where Flam has flourished. So we are compatible across 100% devices, and we can stream high fidelity 3D content. So all these things coming together and building an ecosystem is the real mode that we have built. So just for comparison, not comparison actually, but to walk you through the limitation in the systems, uh, like every other interface which is 3D, it's not a high fidelity interface. So you avatars and all, you could make out that they are not real, right? But on
They're
Flam's
pixelated.
interface,
Mm.
yeah, pixelated. So on Flam, whatever you publish, it's like pixel perfect. You can't make out that it's an avatar. So it's like hyper real rendering. And we have built a proprietary library for streaming that content as well. So that solves a lot of problems of making it very interactive for the user. So from scanning a QR code to the first buffer of rendering the content, it happens within a second, right? So that is not possible to replicate, or like very hard to replicate. So that's the real mode. Yeah.
See, my other reason for asking you, is this a gimmick, is also that a lot of these things are, I do feel a vague memory of something similar might have happened before, where there was some newspaper ad and there was some interactiveness which could happen on that ad. Uh, uh, all of these were things which you would see once and then you would not really do it again. Like, as a consumer, I might do it once on an ad where I see some 3D content happening, like the Dabur example would be.
Mhm.
There would be a novelty value. First time I would do it, I'd say, oh wow, this is so cool. But is this like, do you see this fundamentally changing behavior of
Mhm.
consumers, where every time they see a newspaper ad with a option
Mhm.
to make that ad 3D on their phone, they will actually do it? What's actually likely going to be the engagement of users on these QR codes?
Okay. So, like this interactive advertising is not restricted to newspaper, firstly. So, you can have this on every touch point that you have where the user is interactive with your brand. So, newspaper is one thing. You can have it on your television. So, like every TV ads now have QR codes in them, right? On like Hotstar or any CTV applications. You can have it out of home advertising on your billboards. You can have it in your digital advertising stack like Instagram, where you have like all kinds of ads on the interface. Like banner ads are there. You have like content ads on Instagram while you are scrolling. Then there is WhatsApp marketing which happens. So every touch point that the brand is communicating with the user, it can be an immersive Flam ad. So you just need a QR code or a link, digital link, to interact with Flam, right? So if you talk about just one touch point, then this thing dies out. But if you build an entire ecosystem around it, then the users also start interacting more with the brand if they find the content is engaging. It's not spammy content, right? So that's where the ecosystem gets built, and as a brand, you can leverage Flam very effectively because, like, whatever engagement you get from the user, it's active engagement because user is actively watching the content, interacting with the content, unlike any other platform where it's all passive and you want to just get rid of the ads, right? So the engagement is very real.
So essentially, then the way a brand looks at video, for example, you could give the insurance policy features through text or through a PDF, or you could have a video where somebody is explaining the features of the insurance policy.
Mhm.
So places where brands consider that video can increase engagement uh, is where, instead of video, brands can go one step ahead of video and do mixed
Yes.
reality to increase engagement.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And there's on the consumption side, and the users can also interact with that content. So that gives a more enriching experience, and you know what the users are, asking about your brand. So if it's
Hmm.
interactive and users are interacting with one part of the whole experience, then that's like something like a hotspot. Like that's what the users are curious to know about.
Hmm.
So all these insights also you can gather if the content is engaging and like two-way interaction.
Hmm. So, is there evidence uh, brands of brand love for this kind of advertising? Do you? I mean, at the end of the day, every uh,
Mhm.
marketing guy wants engagement, and for them, it's a simple. I mean, for them to invest money into some form is not necessarily a big deal if they are convinced that there is engagement there. So
Yeah.
um, so is there evidence that are do you see a
Mhm.
lot of brands who want to
Mhm.
use this? Like, did Dabur start doing this in every ad?
Yes.
That would be a
Yes.
proof point that you have found
Yes.
PMF. If Dabur started doing this, and then seeing Dabur ITC also wanted to do this on their ads and so on. So are you seeing that, or is
Yes.
it
So we
early
are
days?
seeing a lot of repeatability when the brands are doing this. And not just repeatability, it's more of launching your flagship products on it as well. So just to give an example, like last year when Samsung launched their circle to search feature on their phones, the all India ad that they did on front page was with Flam, where it was an interactive ad, like the first interactive ad that we did, where you could interact with the content by tapping or circling the features on the ad, right? Ad creative. So it was like something which Samsung built with Flam, the interactive content, which showcased the capabilities of their phone even before it launched. So they used Flam interface to do that. And this year, when they launched voice search feature, they again did it with Flam, where the ad was voice interactive. So the first touch interactive ad Samsung did was with Flam. The first voice interactive ad that was there in mixed reality. Actually, it was like we did some research. The first voice interactive ad in mixed reality interface all across the world, right?
Mhm.
So we did that with Samsung. So there is a lot of repeatability, and there's also a lot of confidence of launching your flagship products with Flam, right? So you want to cut out all the noise and be very exclusive, very premium. So that's one more place where we have found repeatability. So we can expect that this trend is going to continue, and people will want to launch some of the most creative ads that they create on Flam's interface.
So you're saying when it's a high stakes product for which you anticipate that there already would be some audience interest, and you want to leverage that interest and make it even stronger interest, then going mixed reality is a way to do that, like
Mhm.
to up the game.
No, so it's not just high stakes; it's
Hmm.
even for high stakes,
Hmm.
right? So when
But
you are
so Samsung did these campaigns with you once a year for the phone release. Have
uh,
they gone beyond that?
like Samsung does like launches once a year, so
Hmm.
that's like kind of marketing that they do. It
But
depends on
Samsung is doing marketing all the time, right? If they're only using you for this once a year launch, then
yeah.
it's not exactly.
So it depends on how the brands want to do it. So this is one use case which I mentioned, which
Hmm,
was for the flagship product that they are doing,
hmm,
right?
hmm,
But if you see other brands, like again another example from a big brand like Google, so they are rolling out Flam across all their digital outlets, sorry, physical outlets, where they are selling all the phones. So you could interact with everything in the store with Flam codes, like right from knowing about the features of the phone to seeing what kind of products are going to come up. So every physical collateral in their store is going to be Flam collateral, right?
okay.
So it really depends on what kind of use cases you are using it
Hmm,
for.
hmm.
Another example can be ICICI Bank, where they were using WhatsApp messages to communicate their existing users about the fund that they were launching. So they did it on Flam. So like it depends on your marketing outlook how you do it.
Hmm.
So if you want to make a big splash, Flam is the way to go about it. If you want to digitize every like touch point, brand touch point, again you can use Flam for that. So it really depends on the brand's outlook.
How much would it cost a brand to have a Flam ad made? What is the process of creating the Flam ad, creating the
Mhm.
content?
So we have a publishing platform which the brands use. So we have some publishing guidelines which we share with the brand on how to publish the content on Flam's platform. And then we have a process like pipeline which converts it into the most uh, like optimal form for rendering it on your camera screens for the users. So like brands essentially publish that onto our platform, and then everything happens behind the scenes where it
Are
gets.
you a low touch platform? Like, say, if you're advertising on Facebook,
Yeah,
Facebook will it's self service versus probably if you're advertising on, let's say, a TV channel, there will be more concierge service and they will help you to set things up, etc., etc. So,
yeah.
what are you? Are you low
Oh
touch or
no,
are you high
so
touch?
it's a self-serve platform, and it's a no-code platform. So that's a big boost for advertisers. So
Hmm.
everything that we build, even the interactive experiences, you can build that without writing a single line of code. So you just have to build content in the format that we have specified, and that also can be done outside of Lamp platform. So let's say if the marketeers or designers, they are more proficient into using Adobe's tool chain or any other like any other creation platform, they can continue to do that, and then they can publish it on Flam. Like they don't
So,
have to.
okay, one part is the platform is there, but how much did it cost Dabur to create that box opening 3D experience? Did they, because they would have used some agency to create that experience for
Yes.
them? What would an agency charge Dabur for creating that kind of experience for them?
So those things are, I think, already budgeted. So they have contracts for content creation, and that content can be used anywhere in their TV ads or in the
No, but
any.
is this a couple of lakhs kind of an agency contract, or see today? Why I'm asking you this is because today a brand can create a video ad in 10,000 rupees. There are video AI agencies who will do a pretty solid
Yeah,
video
yeah,
ad, like a Diwali ad or whatever.
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of brands did have AI generated Diwali ads.
Yes.
So there are agencies which will give you in 10, 20,000, something like
Hmm.
that, maybe 50,000 a video ad. Uh, what would an agency charge for creating a Flam ad? That is what I'm trying to
So
get at. Like, is it a niche skill and therefore expensive?
no, so agencies have to do exactly the same amount of work that they have to do for a video ad. So I don't think there's something more that you need from the agency. And like regarding the video ads, I don't think on mass scale anyone is using video ads. Like we haven't seen that yet. Uh, like it can be for some campaigns on social
Maybe
media,
not TV ads, but for
yeah,
sure,
which are for restricted
a lot of
users.
social
But
media video ads are
yes,
now AI
yes,
generated.
are also very restricted to the users.
Hmm.
They are not for mass consumers, and more of like it's secondary effect, like user share. Like they're doing some influencer marketing probably that I saw this AI ad where they're explicit that it's AI. But if you are doing ads at the scale of like Samsung, Apple, Google, then they are really working hard on production. So
Okay, so they
even for the
the
video,
big boys are not using AI ads as of now.
not for like mass consumption.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
still like a very restricted use case. So
Hmm.
obviously, in that ad components, you can use AI generated like clips or assets, but the entire composition we haven't seen it happening with AI.
Hmm.
Not just for Flam, for any other use case as well. So
Hmm.
most of these creatives are reused from the campaigns that they already have. So print ads, if they are doing, it's anyway gonna go in print. If they are
Hmm.
doing video ads, anyway they have the assets that they are using to make the composition. So those assets are used for creating Flam content as well.
What
So
exactly is the process of creating a Flam experience? What do you need to upload? Do you upload video files? Do you upload some other proprietary software files? What do you do?
no, so like if you are publishing 3D interactive ad,
Hmm.
you would need 3D assets for the things that you want to show in 3D, and then the final composition.
How do you get these 3D assets?
So those are mostly created by agencies or brands. So if you are like advertising for a Samsung phone, you would need a 3D model of Samsung phone, right?
And that is done on a Adobe kind of a tool.
Yes, you can use any tool for that.
Hmm.
Like not just Adobe, Blender is also used. So lot of tools available in
Hmm.
the market off the shelf.
Hmm.
Uh, whatever the designer is proficient in, they use that. and we expect them to upload a final composition, which is a layered 3D like composition, and render it in the form of a video, which gets uploaded onto the Flam platform. And then based on the metadata, we are like adding all the 3D elements behind the scenes.
Uh, is it possible to use generative AI to create a Flam experience?
Yes, so we have also provided that interface on our platform. So instead of like if you are not specific about the models that you are using, so let's say uh, like if you are creating a campaign wherein there are a lot of props around you, right? So there the props need not be exactly like what you want, right? So if you are advertising for a Samsung phone and if you want icons of music or icons of any iconography around that phone, right? So you are very picky or particular about the phone model because that is your flagship product, right? So
Mm.
there you might not want to use AI because it cannot generate the exact model that is there of the phone, right? So there you have your own model, you upload it onto the platform, and then you generate the other elements using generative AI, which we also provide to our users, and then you use it for the composition. So again, composition also has to be very specific. You can't use AI there, like it's not being used right now.
So the steps of creating an experience is first is you upload the 3D assets, and then you do something called composition.
Yes. So composition is basically a final video or a final render that you need for your ad creative. Okay. So it has multiple layers to it. All the layers have 3D objects, 2D objects, everything. But like what you require for the final creative, that is very specific and definitive. Like you need like you can't have any sort of what you can say prediction or predictive thing happening. You need very specific elements in the video, right? So generative AI can create things which are not very specific, so you have to recreate, and you can never be sure that it will create what you want exactly, right? So that's where composition comes into picture. So you generate all the assets that you want with generative AI and then use your skill set to do the final composition.
So one part of the cost of the brand is creation of the creative or the 3D experience. Then the other would be what you will charge the brand for using the platform. So what is
Yes.
that like?
So again, it depends. It is like a large spectrum. So if you want some bespoke features like interactive, voice interactive, then the price goes up. But typically, it can be somewhere around like 20% of the spend on what you're already doing on the collaterals, right?
20% of spend here, spend is defined as what? The media buying spend or also the creation spend?
No, no, not the creation,
The
obviously.
media buying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So if you're paying a newspaper for the front page, then typically 20% of that amount is what uh, you might be paying Flam. But is there a
So it varies according to the kind of experience that you want. So if
hmm.
it's like a simple experience of playing just 3D content or a video which is non-interactive, then the price is not that much. But interactive content, then it's charged higher.
Is there a pricing formula of like is it based on per download, per impression,
No,
something
no,
like
no. So
that?
we don't charge on per impression because it can get very tricky for the brand. So you want a lot of engagement, but then if that engagement costs you a lot, then you don't get approvals for that, right? So let's say if we charge for per interaction or anything like that, and the experience blows up, then it could incur your billing in crores also, right?
Billing.
So that's why they sign up for like a fixed one-time fee, and obviously the experience is active for a specific duration. So we have our estimates on how the engagement is going to be, so we charged according to that. Obviously if it goes up, then we have to serve it. So let's see, like it's something which is doing like it costs us, but it also does our marketing for Flam, because then you get that kind of engagement.
Yeah, if
So
something goes viral, then
yeah,
it's good
so
for
we are
Flam
okay
also.
to handle those kind of spikes,
Hmm.
but the brand might not be. So we want to keep it at a fixed price, like they know what they are spending before the actual ad goes live.
As an example, how much would Dabur have paid you for that box opening, the that campaign?
So exact numbers I am not sure, Like
But
that
is
is
it like in the less than 10 lakhs range or more than 10 lakhs range?
somewhere around that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. What kind of ARR are you at right now? What kind of revenues do you do as a company?
So, like when we started, after that, I can give you a multiple because like numbers, I'm not sure, but we are growing in multiples, not in percentages. That's all I can say. Like when we started out making revenues last year, like the first ad we did, after that, it has been a continuous growth and like grown in multiples. So that's a bit confidential, but yeah, that's all I can say right
Uh, uh, Let me ask this: by when do you think you'll cross 10 million ARR?
now. We've already crossed it.
Oh, okay, amazing! Congratulations. Okay, that's pretty good. 10 million ARR for India market. This you're only serving India market today, right?
No, so we are serving India, Middle East, Japan, and US. But the major share is from India at the moment. Like we have just launched the product this year in the other geographies.
Like 90% of your ARR is India. Amazing, amazing. And how much have you raised so far?
So so far, I think it's somewhere around 22 million across all the rounds. So it's yeah.
I think you did your seed was 3.5 million, and then the most recent was a 14 million in
Yes.
25 only.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Uh, what was like insights, lessons learned in the fundraise? Because your initial raise was for a consumer product, and I'm sure this 14 million you raised now was very clearly a B2B
Yes.
thing. What was the difference between the pitches? What have you learned about how to raise funds?
Mhm. So I'm not actively into raising funds, so I
Hmm.
can talk about it from product or technical sense. How is it? So the first fundraise was the seed fund where like there's no PMF, there's just belief on what you're building, some proof of work where you have shown some differentiable tech and some traction and stickiness on the user base. So that helps you get the first round. But the recent one, like the 14 million one, that is like more on like actual proof of work and proof of market. So in the first round, you don't know how the market is gonna react. You just know like you as in the investors and you know that you are building something and you are capable of building it and you have shown some resilience to market forces that you're gonna build a great product. But when you are going for series A, then it's more of like the market is already established, there is a clear PMF, and now you need to scale this product, right? So the first round that you raise is on belief, the second is on like proof of work and ability to scale, right?
Mm. What do you need to scale it? Like, do you need more sales muscle, like hire more salespeople, and like what are the things you need now at this
uh,
stage to scale?
okay, so that's a very traditional way, high, like more salespeople, more revenue. But ideally we want to build a product which is like contributing to the growth. So it's product led growth that we are more focusing on. So obviously, it's a new product, something which is like market creation. So you need to educate the users about this kind of product. So that's where salespeople and creative people come into picture. So like to leverage the full potential of the platform, you need to really communicate it to the creative people in the advertisement industry or any other industry that you are targeting, right? So it's more of user education, and then the product should be like proficient to serve. That's the only way to scale beyond like 10 or 100 million. So you can't have salespeople like selling the product and expect to go that way. It's always product led. So that is going to be the focus going forward.
Typically, product led growth works with a product like, say, a Canva, where you have a free trial. And so you have 100 million people who
Yes.
do a free
Yeah.
trial and
Well,
free
yes.
usage. And then out of those 100 million, 5 million become paying customers.
Yes. Yes.
How will that work for you?
So we are iterating on the product. So obviously, brands when they had like when we launched, after that when brands wanted to publish content, they had to pay and launch. But now we have come up with a model, come up as in we are continuously iterating, but we are allowing users to now create content for free with a watermark so that they can experience the platform before they pay up, right? So if you have experienced it once, then you don't need that push from a salesperson to make convert you into a paying customer, right? So that's how, like, small features on the platform, on by analyzing user patterns, you can do to get that kind of reach.
Do you think this will work for enterprise sales? Because you're not chasing mid market or SMEs.
Yep, yep.
Enterprises don't get attracted by free trials, right?
Yeah,
Like you actually need feet on street and people knocking
yes,
doors.
yes, yes. So there are multiple ways to reach enterprises. One is where Flam and the salespeople from Flam are reaching out to the enterprises. Another way is all the enterprises have creative agencies, right? Who make all the creative content, brand content for them, right? So they
Okay.
can publish content on Flam, which is like
Hmm.
with watermark, which they can try out, pitch to the brand, and that's where the brands can get onboarded to Flam. So it's a
Right.
multi-pronged approach.
Hmm.
You need as many users and creative people, especially. Brand
Hmm.
might not have those many creative people at their disposal, but the agencies are built around providing the creative services to enterprises. So when they start using it, that's when like you get more foot in the door for brands to come onto your platform.
So the agency market is basically the attack vector for you to really get entry. Like the agencies will take you in. Got it. Interesting. Okay. Let me end by doing some amount of future gazing. Mark Zuckerberg's bet is that the next big device is going to be a mixed reality device that you wear on your head instead of a phone. That the phone is not something that 10 years down the line we will still be on our phones, but it will be
Yes,
some mixed reality device on your head. Do
yes,
you agree with this as the future? Like even Apple is hoping to
yes,
catch that next device evolution through their Vision Pro. Do
yes,
you think that's the future of how we interact with digital screens, or how we interact with
yes,
digital media through a
yes.
glasses, or will
Yes,
phones stay?
definitely. For mixed reality interface, the best interface is through glasses, right? But right now we are stuck on mobiles because that's the most commonly used device by the users, right? So, like companies
10
like
years later, will most of
yeah,
us still be accessing content
so
through
my
mobiles?
prediction is 10 years is a shorter time frame, but you never know. Like if the trend catches up within a year, people can shift. Not a year, but at least 5 years. The entire internet can be driven, like consumption on internet can be driven through glasses. But you don't know when those 5 years will come. Like they can come in next 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, right?
I want to
That's
hear your take on it. Like you're saying, your prediction is
yeah,
10 years is not enough time frame.
yeah,
10
yeah.
years down, we'll still be on phones. What do you think is the likely time frame by which phones will be obsolete, and what will make it
Okay.
happen? Just go
Uh,
go crazy and tell me what
okay.
you think.
So
Like it's
okay, so my take on that is like the headsets that is current, like that was currently the next interface that the users will, like the companies were thinking about. That is not coming up very soon because the headset, the interface, and the usability for the users is not something which is very easy. Like I'm cut off from the world. So headset is not the interface that will take over phones for sure. Like the next bet is on glasses, but glasses we haven't seen anything in market yet, right? So any like even the Ray-Ban glasses and all, like we see videos of them having the rendering capabilities, but they're not out in the market yet, right? So only when they are out in the market will we be able to see like it can only be experienced. Like you can't predict it, it can only be experienced. So when you experience like Meta Quest or Apple, it looks good at the start, but if you see anyone who owns a Meta Quest, 2 months or 3 months down the line they stop using it, right?
hmm.
Because it's not very convenient. So convenience of phones is unparalleled. So until you have something which is as convenient as a phone, or more than that, there's not going to be an adoption. So glasses might be, but then you have to experience it before you can do that prediction, right? So if it sticks with you, like if it is as user friendly or lucid for you to use as a smartphone, then the adoption can happen very fast. But we don't know yet if glasses are going to provide that.
Plus, challenges like how do you fit computing power onto glasses? That sounds
Yes,
like a
those
really
are all
hard.
engineering problems. So those
Yeah.
problems can be solved, but whether it's convenient for the user to use it or not, that you can't solve, right? So that can only be experienced. So yeah, I'm sure UX designers are already in that process. But yeah, I'll have to experience it first before.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Amit. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks, Akshay.